We're going to talk today about RRSPs. This is under Chapter 4 in your text. And I'm going to spend some time on registered retirement savings plans. And the reason for that is that many of your customers are actually, if they're looking at investment products, are most likely doing this through their RRSP portfolios. Huge marketplace, and so you need to, as a life insurance representative, be very familiar with the ins and outs of a registered retirement savings plan. Now, a lot of people understand what they are and that they can get a tax deduction, but from your perspective, you need to have a bit more knowledge about our registered retirement savings plans, how we calculate how much you can contribute to the plan, what happens when it matures, what are the different types of investments that are possible. So you need to have a bit more detailed understanding of this than the average person on the street. So let's spend some time on registered retirement savings plans. This is a voluntary savings plan that has tax incentives. It's the federal government's way of encouraging us to save for our retirement years. We need to recognize that simply old age security or the Canada Pension Plan, is just not going to be enough to meet our lifestyle requirements when we retire. In fact, old age security and Canada Pension Plan are designed probably to meet about 25% of our income needs when we retire. And so there's a lot of onus on Canadians to, in fact, take care of their own retirement income needs. Now, there are basically three types of RRSP accounts. You'll see managed accounts. In other words, it's an account or an investment where someone is actually managing that money for me. And so an example of a managed account might simply be a GIC, a segregated fund, a mutual fund, could be a Canada Premium Bond. So these are managed accounts in that when I buy that investment, I put that investment and register it as a registered retirement savings plan. Second type of RSP account is something called a self-directed account. And a self-directed account is technically a holding account. It's one account that holds all the different kinds of investments that I own in my RRSP. I get a centralized report at the end of every quarter or at the end of every year, versus with a managed account, I may get a statement from the bank with my GIC. I may get a statement from an insurance company with my Seg fund. I'll get a statement from my mutual funds. So the managed accounts are all separate accounts that I have to consolidate and bring them together and track them together. Self-directed account does that for me, but I have to pay someone to bring all this together under one umbrella. And usually, depending on the amount of money and diversity in my RSP portfolio, a lot of times securities brokers, stockbrokers will offer self-directed accounts where we will get consolidated all of our different investments in our RSP, and in fact they will charge us an annual fee to perform that function as a self-directed account. So it's an umbrella account to pull everything together. The third type of investment account is something called a fully managed account. This is a scenario where I have enough money in my RSP savings that I can actually go directly to one of those professional fund managers and have them customize and build a portfolio specifically for me. So it tends to be a larger size RSP account, and I get personalized one-on-one investment advice from the fund manager. Sort of like high net worth investing, I qualify for that. So those are the three basic types of accounts we can have with our RSP. Managed account, self-directed account, and a fully managed account with a professional money manager. Now, with respect to contributions to an RSP, those contributions obviously are tax deductible. That's the incentive we get. And we are able to contribute to our RSPs up to 60 days after the year end. So for my 2018 contribution to my RSP, I have until 60 days after the end of 2018, so that may be February 29th or March 1st, to make a contribution for my 2018 tax year. 60 days from the end of the year. And with respect to continuing contributions, the last time I can make a contribution to my RSP is in the year in which I become December 31st, in the year in which I turn age 71. That's the last time I can contribute to an RRSP. Now, to contribute to an RRSP, I must have earned income. I can't just take savings or use other money I have and just simply put it into an RRSP. The amount I can contribute is based on my earned income. If I have no earned income in a given year, I just have investment income, I cannot make a contribution to an RSP. So the amount I can put into an RSP is based on my earned income. A couple of features that are quite interesting on RSPs. There are two special plans. One's called the Home Buyers Plan. What's interesting with this is the federal government allows us to borrow money, withdraw money out of our RSPs if we are going to use it to buy our first home. And so if you have an RSP as a first-time home buyer, you can withdraw up to $25,000 from your RSP, and you must agree to repay that amount of money over the next 15 years. So an equivalent amount, whatever you borrow, will divide it by 15, and you must repay that each year over the next 15 years without having any tax liability. Because remember, anytime I take any money out of an RSP, it's taxable, except for these two situations we're talking about, which is the Home Buyers Plan. I can take out up to $25,000 and repay it over 15 years. And the second one is something called Lifelong Learning Plan. And so, again, in the Lifelong Learning Plan, too many L's in that title, it must be, the money taken out must be used for educational costs for you and or your spouse. It's not for your children. This is not a scholarship savings plan. It's in fact lifelong learning, recognizing that in today's environment, work environment, continuing education is going to be critical for us to be able to keep up and to keep our jobs. So the federal government allows us to borrow up to $20,000 from our RSP towards the use of continuing education for us. We must repay that amount over 10 years. So, Home Buyers Plan, I can get up to $25,000, repayable over 15 years. Lifelong Learning, I can get up to $20,000 for me and or my spouse, repayable over 10 years. So those are a couple of interesting features that are available under an RRSP.